are now tuned into the sounds of bearded ambition.
Welcome back to Bearded Ambition. Today I want to talk about a topic that is tied into emotion. And we all are aware of emotion, right? Energy and motion. And being proactive and being reactive, we know are on two different ends of the spectrum. But I want to talk about reacting based on your evolution. React based on your evolution. A lot of us are in a low state as we grow in life, based upon things that we're not aware of as far as our attachment styles, our traumas, our pains, our anxieties, our worries. And when we're in that particular state, we react certain ways. You might be in a relationship, maybe a new relationship, and it's always good in the beginning. And then as you grow, perhaps the other party decides that they want to part ways. Now you're faced with a dilemma. A very select few of people may actually take it on the chin, say, okay, that's the way you feel, and then go separate ways. It just depends on your maturity level as well. But then a lot of people will react based upon where they are in their evolution. They may be very childish and they may not take it in a certain way. They may act out, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being in pain and being sad based upon a separation, but also that's also going to dictate how well you respond to it based upon if it's something that you've never experienced before or if you have experienced it before or how attached you are to that individual and what they mean to you. But anyhow, it is a level of your evolution and how you respond to it. Then you go to more like a mediocre aspect of your evolution. Okay, you've been through an experience where you've been hurt, right? Whether it be a relationship, whether it be, hey, I lost my job, or, you can place anything in there that you would like. But based upon, like I said, your maturity level, based upon your perspective of what's happening to you, a lot of the times determines how you react. And we're all going to meet different people on different levels of their evolution as we interact in this life. We're going to meet certain people that are in the super ground level. We're going to meet certain people who are going to be right there in the middle. And we're going to be certain people who are going to be sort of like in their phoenix, the rising of the ashes. And they've been through it all, so they're really unbothered. But we are all going to react based upon where we are in our evolution. And of course, just like I mentioned, when you reach that high level of evolution, and I don't know if there is an end all be all to how far you can evolve, because there's levels to everything. But overall, reacting based upon how this affects me. You could be in debt. You could be in a place where it's like money is tight. You could be very fearful. You could be very in a lack scarcity mindset to where you're going crazy. You're telling everybody, I don't know how I'm going to make it. And you're just, ah. But then you have another person who may have been there before. And they're like, hey, man, they may even tell you right there at that moment, I'm in debt now. And they could be dealing with debt on a whole different level. They could be multimillionaires. Or they could be an average Joe, but they could be like, I'm still sustaining myself. There's always a method to the madness, and realizing despite what you're in does not mean that everything is going to fall to pieces. As they say, life is going to happen to you. It's all how you respond to it. Reacting to based upon where you are in your evolution. So the overall message is no matter where you are, remember in the moment, if you can pay attention to how you're reacting, it'll let you know where you are in your evolution. It'll let you know if you're on a very low level, uh, a medium beginner stage, or intermediate level, and then you have a higher level of being. You can reference it as a mature level, uh, a higher self level, a level of being more proactive than reactive. Remember, you are not the sum of your circumstance. You choose how you want to respond to things. But you have to be conscious, you have to be aware of self when you're in the moment. I'm not going to say that it's easy, because I definitely went through my levels of evolution. Sometimes we can look back on our evolution and we can cringe based upon who we were and how we looked at life. And we just thought that life was over, and that, we almost had tantrums. But also, a lot of that stems from a lot of things from the past, things that were voids, things that weren't fulfilled in your life, that when you came across certain circumstances, you didn't know how to react to it. And that's a whole nother conversation, dealing with traumas and pains and other aspects of your life that a lot of times dictate how you react to things in your life. So the objective is to, if I could give you anything, is to stay optimistic, always look for the best case scenario, always realize that when there is an end, there's always a new beginning. When there is pain, it is also a lot of times leading you towards ultimate healing. Because a lot of times we don't realize that we're even dealing with pain. And a lot of times that stuff that's going on is bringing awareness to it. So as you evolve, pay attention to how you react to everything. It's actually a great learning lesson to pay attention to how you respond. In the moment that you realize that you're doing something that perhaps you've always been doing, is the moment I truly believe is that you're getting ready to evolve even more, because now you're extremely conscious of it. And when you start asking the questions like, why am I doing this? That's the light bulb moment. That's the moment where I feel everything's going to change and you are going to evolve even more. So don't beat yourself up because you are reacting a certain way. The objective is, like I said before, is to realize why you're doing it, and also to gauge where you are in your stage of evolution. And as always, I hope that this has value to you. Please hit the subscribe button, like and share. It is much appreciated. And